Hello, my name is Lady Pastor Rodam. I'm from Uganda, Arete Ministries International. I pastor one of our branch churches, which is called Makerere, and he is my pastor. And yeah.
Thank you. I am Reverend Isaac Nkuusi, the founder, head, leader of Arete Ministries International. Now, we're here in Anakazo, and it's a blessing to share with us our testimony of what we've seen the Lord do in our lives and the ministry of the prophet, Bishop Heward-Mills. When I was in the university in 2016, as a medical student, I was on YouTube. I am interested in ministry, want to learn a lot of things. So one time I was supposed to prepare a teaching for church, for the men's ministry, gents who are trying to look for beloveds. Oh, even the word beloveds, we got it from yes. So I saw an old video, YouTube video, and there was Reverend Heward-Mills, 7 types of women you should never marry. Wow. I said, I need to listen to this. So that was the very first time. I'd not heard of such a man. I listened to the video, watched the videos, repeated them, because the wisdom I had from the teachings, I had not had them from anywhere. So I got the teachings, also taught the same message to the church boys, the men who are preparing for marriage, and it was a blessing. So that I paused listening in 2016, went back to do my own other things as we are running the ministry. Then 2017, we were working closely with a certain man of God. Then he shares with us a book called Loyalty and Disloyalty. Wow. The word loyalty was new. So we went through the book as a whole church for month and month and month. And now the testimony we have, when we did the book as a church, it was medicine. It was medicine, because our problem was not those who leave you, those who forget. Our problem was those who are ignorant. We were very ignorant people. We didn't know what faithfulness is. We didn't know what loyalty was. We were all young people who were at campus, filled with zeal in the medical school, zeal for the Lord. We want to work for the Lord. So we go through the book. It helps us focus and concentrate in the ministry. After the book, again, we paused listening to prophet. 2019, when I was finishing medical school, I was in my 5th year, I saw flyers on one of the pastor's pages that Evangelist Heward-Mills is coming to Uganda to do 5 crusades. And one of the cities where he was supposed to do the crusade was our own city where we come from, that is Mbale. I said, this is all. Somehow, when I saw the flyer that the prophet was going to come to Mbale, I said, this is the turnaround of our ministry. At that time, again, we had now gotten an issue. We had a crisis. We had suffered. We were in the middle of a church sprint in 2019. And so some people had left and a few people had remained. So it was a timely visitation. So when he came, I was in 5th year. I remember the first pastors' conference was supposed to do at one of the churches that was the lead host. I had an obstetrics and gynecology exam in the medical school. So I wrote that exam in a few minutes, handed in quickly to run to. I knew that I'm supposed to catch something from this man of God. Because I had been in anticipation from the time when the flyer came out. I was waiting upon that to happen. So finally, evangelist comes to our city. We closed church for that whole week.
The church program.
No program was running. So the programs, all of us are going to be at the pastors' conference and ministers, and then in the evening, we are all going to be on the choir. So the whole church was in choir. Me, the lead pastor, I was in protocol and testimony. Protocol and testimony. Because we wanted to serve an anointing. We wanted to serve this man we've been seeing on YouTube, whose books we've been reading. So now God has given us opportunity. He's around. So we said we are going to serve. So now, when evangelist comes to Uganda, to our city, it was the last city he did when he was moving out. He found us with less than 100 people. 70? Around 70 people. Unstable people.
With no clear permanent church structure.
No structure, no nothing. When he comes, there is a book called Anakazo, which to my little knowledge now, I think it's the greatest strategy for church growth.
Wow.
Anakazo.
Oh, yes.
So I taught Anakazo for 1 month from the book, 4 Sundays. And the church grew in the next month to 300. Yes. 2 months, 300 people. And then we started 10 other locations in the same city. 10 locations in the same city. All done by medical students. So by the time lockdown comes, we were with all the different 10 locations, which were in one place, in the same one city, we were 10 times 30, that is 300, then plus the 300.
600.
That's around 600. Minimum, every Sunday, 600 people in our city were meeting in 1 month. Yes.
After the crusade.
Yes, after the crusade, 1 month, it worked.
Indeed.
So that was the immediate impact that we had. 11th October 2020, when I finished university, and I'd also done my 1 year of housemanship as a medical doctor, I go to start a church, an outside church. Now I'm going to start ministry, which I'm leading now by God's grace. So at that time, people encouraged us to hire hotels, hire halls in the hotel halls in town. Yes, don't go into building and what. But I said, I have been reading the book, What It Means to Be as Wise as a Serpent, and the thing about buildings, one great wisdom that Bishop, the prophet, has been emphasizing. So I will not follow that. I think I picked an anointing on how to build. When I finished, I never went to hospital to practice medicine. When I finished my internship, I just said, no, I have to give myself wholly to the Lord. So the first impact we had from following the man of God is the wisdom because he says money is not what builds. Yes. So the wisdom to build, we picked it. The wisdom to own land and not be into the excitement of renting halls, lights here and there. Humbly went to the village, to the place, the bush, bought land, put ourselves there. So we start church, but to cut this long story short, we start church planting. We begin with 3 branches, and so the churches are working. So when I said, okay, I think I can now practice medicine, to be honest, I think I was losing the vision. So I went to practice medicine for a few months. What helps me is another great man of God who we came with to Ghana, Apostle Moses Mukisa of Worship Harvest Ministries, mega church, different cathedrals, who also gave himself to follow the man of God. So he helps us. Somehow I come back to, that's now 2022. So no, this is what you're doing is not the right thing to do. I leave the hospital practice again. And so I'm full-time. the special thing about Prophet is the availability of his material. Like, I don't know people where you just go and you get free, like last year when we came for the conference, free books, we were given free books to take back. When he's doing crusade, when we're in Rwanda, we bought each book the Maccario, 60 books, I think at like $40, $30. 60 books, $30. Imagine. Then for material, for soft copies, free of charge. Like, many times, if really someone chooses they'll just choose not to be serious in the ministry, but he's a father that God has given us in our time to help the churches that are struggling. From the struggling people we were, I no longer say that we are really a struggling church now. No. We are growing. And I've encouraged many people in our age group to follow the Prophet. And I'm saying it's working for them also. From the excitement of, we the youth were very excited when we were doing our ministry. But now we are growing to receive the wisdom. Settle down. Build a home for the church. Follow, read books. What does it mean to be another also church growth thing I also use this to share is the church growth material is art of shepherding. When you have a good shepherd, when you learn to be a shepherd who visits people, we didn't know about visitations, that even visitations are an important thing to do. We didn't know about them. I want to thank you, Prophet, Bishop Doug Heward-Mills, for being a father in our generation, for being a father to us. Your material has had a lot of impact. The books, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the heart to help churches grow, to help the churches learn how to, help pastors to learn how to plant churches. To also the medicine of loyalty. Yeah, the vaccine. It's a real vaccine, immunizing churches against all these church splits. Oh yeah.